Zombie College was a Flash animated web series released in June of 2000, and its legacy is shrouded in mystery. As an early Flash cartoon, it would make sense that information would be somewhat scarce, but given the show's ties to the Fox network, as well as the show's creator being a prominent figure in American television, it's strange to see so little in the way of information about the show. So what was Zombie College? What happened to the show, and why is it so closely tied to the popular Fox animated series Futurama?
Zombie College, Zombie College, Zombie College. Zombie College.
Icebox was an early internet media company founded in 1999. The website was created to capitalize on the growing audiences on the internet, as well as take advantage of the free and open environment. With no executives or standards and practices to worry about, Icebox saw an opening to bring unique entertainment to the internet, primarily through adult animation. Icebox saw some success with a few of their shows, like Mr. Wong, which was popular mainly by the immense amount of controversy surrounding it, and Queer Duck, with Queer Duck being the most successful of any shows on Icebox, later getting picked up on Showtime and receiving a movie. The website took advantage of ideas that were all but guaranteed to be turned down by network executives, and one of these ideas was Zombie College. The premise of Zombie College is pretty simple. A smart college student called Scott follows his girlfriend Zelda to college. But it's no ordinary college. This college is populated by zombies, and Scott gets turned into a zombie and must now learn to live this new life while experiencing new things both as a zombie and as a college student. As far as premises go for adult animation, this seems like a nice, simple, and goofy premise that could lead to a fun show. And as far as early Flash cartoons go, this show isn't terrible in my opinion. It's not good, but it has a bit of charm to it, which might just come from my nostalgia for early Flash cartoons. But these three shows, Queer Duck, Mr. Wong, and Zombie College, all have one thing in common: network connections. One aspect that stands out in Zombie College is the voice acting, featuring most notably John DiMaggio, Billy West, and Tress MacNeille. All three of these voice actors lent their voices to Futurama, which brings us to Zombie College's network connection: Fox. Zombie College was created by Eric Kaplan, a longtime producer and writer on Futurama. These connections to Futurama and in turn Fox not only boosted the show's quality because more talented people were working on it, but it gave the show an opening to go from Icebox to network television. Now, we've already seen that Queer Duck got picked up by Showtime, but Queer Duck was created by legendary Simpsons producer and co-creator of The Critic, Mike Reyes. Even Mr. Wong had some connection to mainstream television, with its two creators Pam Brady and Kyle McCulloch being writers on South Park at the time. These bizarre network connections make watching all of these shows somewhat surreal. Most people remember Flash cartoons as independent projects on the internet, and granted, these were, but for Icebox to have three shows with deep network connections makes for a very strange experience. It's like watching a very cheap, dumbed-down version of something like The Simpsons in a bizarro world where a different show was pitched, but the same creative, talented people were working on it within the limitations of the internet at the time. And no experience is stranger than watching Zombie College. Zombie College stands out mainly because of its style of comedy and voice acting being so similar to Futurama. I can't stress how strange it sounds to hear the voices of Fry and Bender coming out of these characters. Again, it adds a layer of charm to the show, and it may have actually worked in the show's favor because reception of Zombie College at the time was fairly positive, and this positive reception did not go overlooked. The timeline for Zombie College as well as Icebox is very important for this portion of the video. Keep in mind that Icebox was started in 1999 and Zombie College was released in June of 2000. In November of 2000, it was rumored in an article from IndieWire that Zombie College was going to receive a half-hour pilot on Fox in the following fall of 2001. If Zombie College were to get picked up by Fox in this instance, it would be the first web series turned into a main network TV show, since Queer Duck didn't get picked up by Showtime until late 2001. However, this announcement was premature, and Icebox may have been the cause of this mishap. Just a month later, in December of 2000, AWN ran an article saying that Fox had lost interest in Zombie College. This loss of interest came from Icebox's decision to hype up the announcement of Zombie College getting a pilot. The hype for Zombie College had some underlying motives for Icebox, the main coming from Icebox having to do some restructuring that would require Icebox to lay off half of its 100-person staff. It was also rumored that Icebox was spending upwards of $1.4 million a month, and this bleeding of funds led to the website using Fox's interest in Zombie College as a form of distraction from their troubles. And apparently Fox didn't take too kindly to being used by Icebox, especially since it seemed like the deal was never finalized between the two. So Icebox essentially tried to use a supposed offer by Fox to calm shareholders and distract people away from the glaring issues within the company. Fox didn't like that, and the deal completely fell apart. Icebox was said at the time to be an incubator for animated projects, a statement that was far too ambitious and somewhat pretentious for the company. The company shut down in February of 2001. It was started back up shortly after, but it never reached the same attention it received in its early days. This left Zombie College open to purchasers, and Mondo Media jumped on the show, adding it to their catalog. The earliest appearance I could find of Zombie College on Mondo Media is in 2008, 8 years after the show was originally produced. In this video, I did my best to give an accurate account of what happened with Zombie College and Icebox and how everything came to be and fell apart. That being said, there is a lot of conflicting information when it comes to this show. Some sources claim that Zombie College was originally produced as a pilot for Fox, and it was only after Fox rejected the show that it was brought to Icebox. I found no evidence of Fox even knowing Zombie College existed until it was released in 2000. However, it is possible that Eric Kaplan pitched the show at some point to Fox before producing it with Icebox, though there's no evidence for that either. It's also rumored that if Zombie College was picked up by Fox, it would have been a live-action rendition of the show. This claim also has no solid evidence, and it makes very little sense given the show gained its following as an animated series. With such great voice actors and a creator with experience in adult animation, it doesn't make sense that the show would make the switch to live action. And bear in mind also that even though I did do my best to create an accurate account in this video, there is a strong possibility that there are massive gaps in information missing from this story that I simply could not find. So if you have more information on Icebox and Zombie College, please post it in the comment section below. Because at the end of the day, I just want to have an accurate account of what happened with this bizarre show, because so many people have been asking about it over the years. I've had so many conversations with people that are just completely baffled that this show even exists. And I believe what I've presented is at least a good chunk of the story of how Zombie College came to be and the rise and fall of Icebox. With that being said, we can move on to where Zombie College resides today. Zombie College didn't receive any additional episodes after the first 12. Mondo Media released the episodes gradually and later compiled it into 2 marathon segments. The show had gone from being the possible first ever web series turned network TV show to being in the backlog of one of the biggest names in online animation at the time. And to this day, Zombie College is still viewable and watchable by anyone for free on YouTube via Mondo Media's YouTube channel. Zombie College is an interesting look at what early Flash animation was like on the internet, and how alluring the internet was to not only independent creators, but to established members of the animation community. The internet was a new frontier that offered boundless possibilities for creators, from the filthiest porn ever thought up by a sweaty goblin person to entertainment that rivaled professionals in the industry. The legacy of Zombie College and Icebox stands as an example of how the internet can be used by anyone, from professionals to amateurs, to bring any idea, no matter how bizarre, to life, even if that life is short-lived.